Hey, Bears fans. Last night was one of those games that will go down in memory for a long time, and it was impossible not to be on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Caleb Williams absolutely took over the field, showing exactly why he is the centerpiece of this offense. With nearly 300 yards through the air, over 50 on the ground, and another 20-plus receiving, he was everywhere at once. The energy he brought wasn't just about raw stats. It was about presence, leadership, and timing, the kind of performance that makes you feel like this is the future of the Chicago Bears right here, right now. And that 58-yard touchdown to Ken Loveland in the final minute, that was a moment that will live forever in highlight reels and in the hearts of the fans. It was not just a big play. It was a signature moment, a statement that this team can close out games under pressure when it counts the most. Now, make no mistake, there were moments where head coach Ben Johnson took risks that might have made some fans gasp. A few of his play calls were daring, maybe a little too cute, as some might say, but you could see the intent behind it. Johnson is trying to unlock the full potential of his roster, and sometimes that means testing the boundaries of what this offense can do. When it works like it did last night, the payoff is massive. And that's exactly what happened with Caleb Williams and his ability to read the field, extend plays, and make defenders miss. That combination of quarterback skill and a coach willing to experiment gave the Bears a chance to showcase a level of offensive creativity that has been missing for years. Ken Loveland deserves just as much credit as Caleb for what he accomplished on the field. Going into the game, he had already shown promise with 11 catches and over 100 yards, but last night he doubled down on that production. 6 receptions, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both the first of his NFL career, highlighted just how much he's growing into his role. That game-winning catch, perfectly timed, perfectly executed, and a reflection of the trust Williams and the coaching staff are putting in him. Watching a rookie step up in that kind of pressure situation speaks volumes about his mental toughness and readiness to contribute immediately. This wasn't just a good game for Loveland. It was a breakthrough, a moment that could define his trajectory for the rest of the season. And when you pair his effort with Kyle Manangi's performance in the backfield, the Bears' offense looked like a well-oiled machine. Manangi, drafted in the 7th round, took over as the lead running back in a way that few could have predicted. 26 carries for 176 yards, an average of nearly 7 yards per carry, plus 3 catches for 22 yards, showed not only his versatility, but also how tough he is to bring down. Watching him navigate through defenders with a combination of power and agility, you could see why he is becoming an indispensable weapon for this offense. His performance didn't just contribute to the victory. It forced the Bears' opponents to adjust their strategy constantly, opening up opportunities across the field. Manangi's breakout night is exactly what you hope for from a rookie stepping into a larger role, and it underscores why investing trust in young talent can pay dividends immediately. On the defensive side, Austin Booker made his presence felt in a big way. He came back from injury and delivered a performance that fans have been waiting to see, reminding everyone why he was such a promising player in the preseason. Even though he didn't rack up a huge number of traditional stats like tackles, the impact he had was undeniable. His strip sack on Joe Flacco, the quarterback hits, and pressure moments were game-changing plays that shifted momentum. The Bears' defensive line has had questions about depth, especially after investing heavily in other players. But Booker showed that he could not only hold his own, but also elevate the team when it mattered most. His energy, timing, and sheer physicality set the tone for the Bears' pass rush, giving the secondary a chance to make plays and forcing the opposing offense to think twice on every snap. It's exactly the type of performance that reminds fans and coaches alike that sometimes the biggest impact comes not from flashy numbers, but from the subtle, game-altering plays that change the flow of a contest. Montez Sweat, too, is starting to hit his stride. While sacks may not have been pouring in like some expected, his influence on the game cannot be understated. With key tackles, pressure, and pass breakups, Sweat has shown that presence and disruption can be just as valuable as racking up sacks. Watching him set the edge, collapse pockets, and challenge offensive linemen has made a noticeable difference. His contributions are part of the reason the Bears have been able to sustain momentum and keep opponents under pressure, even when other parts of the defensive line are adjusting to injuries or rotations. Sweat's consistency, week after week, adds stability and reliability, which is critical for a team still defining its identity under a new coaching regime. And let's not forget DJ Moore. This game wasn't just about the rookies or the defense. Moore continues to be a multi-dimensional weapon in the Bears' arsenal. With 4 catches totaling 72 yards, a 23-yard reception, and a significant 17-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter, Moore demonstrated why the coaching staff sees him as a positionless threat. His ability to contribute in multiple facets stretches defenses thin, opening opportunities for the running game and forcing defenders to stay honest. Watching him operate in these expanded roles is exciting because it shows what's possible when coaches adapt schemes to players' strengths rather than the other way around. Moore's versatility allows the Bears to be unpredictable, and in close games, that unpredictability can be the difference between a win and a loss. Special teams had a rough night, though, and it's impossible to ignore. Giving up a kickoff return for a touchdown and more than 300 yards in returns highlights an area the Bears need to tighten immediately. Cairo Santos struggled, and it's clear that consistency in special teams will be a focus moving forward. Football isn't just about offense and defense, and games like this are reminders that every unit matters. While the offense and key defensive plays grab headlines, the team knows that improving in the kicking and return game is essential for long-term success. Overall, last night's game was a perfect storm of breakthrough moments. Caleb Williams cemented his status as the team's quarterback. Ken Loveland and Kyle Manangi emerged as rookies who can make an immediate impact. Austin Booker and Montez Sweat showed defensive dominance, and DJ Moore continued to prove his versatility. There were mistakes and areas to improve, yes, but the potential, energy, and moments of brilliance were undeniable. This was a glimpse of what the Bears can do when everything clicks. When rookies step up, veterans contribute, and coaching takes calculated risks. Every fan watching last night should have walked away excited for what's to come, because this team is beginning to show signs of something much bigger than a single game. Even with all the excitement from the offense, it's impossible to ignore some of the struggles that popped up during the game. The passing defense, for example, left a lot to be desired. Joe Burrow and the Bengals were able to move the ball effectively through the air, racking up nearly 500 yards and scoring 4 touchdowns. That kind of performance exposes weaknesses and gives the coaching staff plenty to think about as they prepare for the teams ahead. Tyreek Stevenson's return from injury, Jaquan Brisker, and Nan Wright all faced tough outings, and it showed that the Bears' secondary still has areas to refine. Against elite passing attacks, small mistakes get magnified, and that's exactly what happened in this matchup. Fans watching might feel uneasy seeing the yardage pile up against the defense, but it also highlights the importance of maintaining pressure up front. When the defensive line, led by players like Austin Booker and Montez Sweat, can create chaos, it gives the secondary a chance to recover. That connection between pressure and coverage is something the Bears need to perfect if they want to turn these close contests into consistent wins. Special teams, unfortunately, mirrored some of the defensive struggles. Opening the game with a kickoff return touchdown allowed the Bengals to seize momentum early, and missed field goals contributed to a sense of inconsistency. Over 300 return yards allowed is significant, and it's a reminder that even when the offense and defense are performing well, poor special teams can undermine the overall effort. Cairo Santos had a challenging night, and the Bears will need to address these issues quickly because in a league where every possession counts, giving opponents extra opportunities can be costly. Special teams may not grab headlines like a long touchdown pass or a strip sack, but it's a foundational component that can shift games, and last night proved exactly why attention to detail in this area is critical. Despite those struggles, the story of the game remains the emergence of young talent and the effectiveness of the coaching staff. Ben Johnson's offensive play calling showed flashes of creativity and risk-taking that paid off when it mattered most. He's not afraid to push his players into positions where they can shine, and the trust he places in rookies like Caleb Williams, Ken Loveland, and Kyle Manangi is already paying dividends. Johnson's philosophy of adaptability, using the talent on the roster in dynamic ways rather than forcing them into rigid roles, was evident in nearly every series. Williams running for yards, more catching passes and turning them into touchdowns, and Manangi leading the rushing attack all demonstrated that when the Bears have flexibility in their schemes, the results can be spectacular. It's a reminder that good coaching is not just about strategy. It's about recognizing the strengths of your roster and finding ways to amplify them. Austin Booker's impact on defense also underscores the importance of depth and readiness. Coming off injury and immediately contributing at a high level is impressive in itself, but the manner in which he dominated his matchups sent a message to both teammates and opponents. He's a player capable of influencing the game in critical moments. His ability to pressure the quarterback, disrupt running plays, and create turnovers highlights a level of readiness that not every player can achieve after time off. When paired with Montez Sweat, whose presence has been consistently felt even when sacks aren't piling up, the Bears' defensive line begins to look formidable. The combination of veteran poise and emerging talent creates a balance that the team can build around. Sweat's ability to create chaos even without racking up statistics illustrates the kind of subtle impact that can completely change a game's flow, and that kind of consistency from a veteran leader is invaluable. Rookie development has been a recurring theme, and it's hard to overstate how critical it is for the Bears' future. Ken Loveland, stepping into a bigger role and producing his first career touchdowns, is the type of growth fans hope to see from young receivers. The timing of his catches, the way he read defenses, and his ability to make plays in high-pressure moments shows maturity beyond his experience. Kyle Manangi's breakout performance in the running game complements this narrative perfectly. His ability to break tackles, gain consistent yardage, and force defenders to adjust creates space for others and opens up the offense in ways that weren't fully realized earlier in the season. Trusting rookies and allowing them to grow on the field is starting to pay off, and it gives a sense of optimism about the depth and resilience of this roster moving forward. DJ Moore continues to redefine what it means to be a versatile playmaker in this offense. His combination of speed, agility, and field vision allows him to contribute in ways that force defenses to cover him differently on nearly every play. The creativity Johnson has shown in using Moore in multiple roles, receiver, runner, decoy, demonstrates how a player's full skill set can be leveraged to its maximum potential. This type of innovation is part of what makes the offense exciting, unpredictable, and difficult for opponents to contain. Moore isn't just filling a role. He's shaping how the Bears attack defenses week to week. Looking at the broader picture, this game was about resilience, growth, and taking advantage of opportunities. The Bears showed they can compete in high-pressure moments, even when parts of the team aren't firing on all cylinders. The passing offense, the dynamic running game, the emergence of rookies, and the contributions from players stepping up after injuries all combined to create a team capable of competing with top-level opponents. At the same time, the struggles in passing defense and special teams are clear areas for improvement, and addressing those weaknesses will be critical if the Bears want to sustain success for the remainder of the season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be the most shocking locker room incident of the season, whispers are spreading like wildfire through Soldier Field. Ben Johnson, the Bears' star wide receiver, allegedly erupted in a furious outburst that has teammates and insiders questioning his future with Chicago. According to sources close to the team, the confrontation was intense enough that several players reportedly had to step in to prevent the situation from escalating further. The phrase that's now echoing through the Bears corridors? He's never playing for the Bears again. Though the details remain murky, insiders suggest the argument may have stemmed from ongoing frustrations with coaching strategies, playtime distribution, or even internal conflicts with certain teammates. Johnson, who has been one of the league's most electrifying receivers, has often been praised for his on-field performance. But off the field, tensions have apparently been simmering for some time. Multiple team staffers, speaking on condition of anonymity, indicate that the latest incident could mark a turning point in Johnson's relationship with the franchise. Fans are divided. Some insist that Johnson's passion and fiery personality are exactly what the Bears need to push deep into the playoffs. Others, however, fear that such volatility might create a toxic environment and threaten team chemistry. Social media has already exploded, with hashtags calling for Johnson's trade trending within hours of the alleged locker room meltdown. Rumors are already swirling about potential destinations if Johnson indeed leaves Chicago. Teams in desperate need of a game-changing wideout are said to be circling, quietly gauging the possibility of a blockbuster move. While the Bears organization has yet to release an official statement, sources indicate that internal meetings are already underway. Coaches, front office executives, and player representatives are reportedly discussing damage control strategies, both to retain Johnson and to manage the optics if he walks. Meanwhile, analysts are speculating on how this drama might impact the Bears' season. A mid-season locker room fracture of this magnitude could be catastrophic, yet some insiders hint that Johnson's departure might pave the way for a new era in Chicago, a bold gamble that could either define or derail the franchise. One thing is certain: the locker room incident has cast a shadow over the team, leaving fans and rival organizations alike wondering what comes next. Ben Johnson's future with the Bears, once seemingly secure, now hangs by a thread. The drama is far from over, and everyone is watching to see whether the star receiver will mend fences or make the shocking leap to a new team before the season even heats up. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.